Here at the Gamer Kit, we love survival horror, and of course we love new releases. We could not be more excited for the upcoming release of Resident Evil Village on May 9th. If you haven't played any of the previous Resident Evil installments, you could be going into this kind of dark. So just in case you are, we're going to give you some information about the upcoming title, Resident Evil Village. Hey guys, it's Jared from the Gamer Kit, and I'm here to give you 5 things you need to know about Resident Evil Village. At number 5, Resident Evil Village is a direct sequel to Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, even having one of the same designers, Morimasa Sato. Sato had a critical role in development of the creative angle of Resident Evil 7, having personally created the character Jack Baker. It was also his idea to have Baker constantly stalking the player throughout portions of the game, as well as have regenerative abilities that allowed him to survive crazy injuries. Now serving as the lead director of Resident Evil Village, it is certainly safe to assume Sato will have tremendous creative influence on this title. He actually had a really big role in the Resident Evil Village reveal event where he discussed the return of a long-beloved minigame, but we'll get back to that later. He also recently assured fans that despite the very action-y look of Resident Evil Village, it will contain all the classic Resident Evil horror that we know and love. For number 4, it appears that vampires and werewolves are going to be the primary antagonists for this game. A common misconception about the Resident Evil franchise is that it's a game purely about zombies. While that is some of the truth, it's really not the whole truth. Resident Evil is a franchise about bioweapons, or BOWs, and the dangers they pose to human civilization. A company called Umbrella is responsible for a majority of these bioweapons, hiring numerous scientists and things like that to create them. Over the years, we've seen all different Resident Evil bioweapons, like Evelyn and the Mold, the Nemesis, and the Tyrant. Judging from lots of content already released about Resident Evil Village, it looks like we will soon be able to add vampires and werewolves to that list. And of course, one of the things that is probably the most famous thing advertised from all of Resident Evil Village, which I think is probably a bioweapon, is Lady Dimitrescu, or as Twitter likes to call her, the tall vampire lady with the big butt. If you're curious, Lady Dimitrescu stands at 9'6", which I think is like 2.9 meters or something like that. She could literally step on us. I am so excited to add her to the list, because she's probably going to be better than Mr. X and Nemesis and all of them. Give me Lady Dimitrescu right now. I want her. At number 3, the first Resident Evil character ever introduced is back. That's right, Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 1 has been reintroduced to Resident Evil Village. Chris Redfield is one of the many primary protagonists in the Resident Evil series. Having gone through numerous redesigns over the years, Chris Redfield has appeared as a playable character in numerous Resident Evil games, most recently appearing in the Not a Hero DLC. His involvement in the story of RE Village is so far unknown. However, we can probably assume he's looking to destroy another bioweapon that threatens humanity. In this game, he appears to have this scruffled old veteran look, someone who's been through the ringer numerous times fighting bioweapon after bioweapon, and it almost seems like the bioweapons have turned him into this crazy soldier who is willing to do anything to destroy them. When we first see Chris Redfield in the Resident Evil Village trailer, he shoots Mia, one of the characters from the previous game. So we're instantly thrown for a loop as to what on earth this guy is doing in the story. Personally, I can't wait to find out. And coming in at number 2, Resident Evil Village is going to be sticking with that new first-person camera style that we saw in Resident Evil 7. Of course, when this happened, a lot of people had mixed feelings. Some people really disliked it and felt it was too much of a change for Resident Evil. But, of course, some people, like myself, really loved the change in style and thought it actually made the game even scarier and certainly way more immersive. While the Resident Evil series in the past certainly didn't feel arcadey, I felt that the first-person style just made it a lot more real feeling, like I was a part of the story and I was actually playing as Ethan Winters. Whereas in other games, I kind of feel like you're controlling Leon, or you're controlling Claire, or you're controlling all the other million characters in Resident Evil. And finally, at number 1, Mercenaries mode is back. As I said before, at the Resident Evil Village reveal event, we were informed that the beloved side mode Mercenaries is returning with a ton of new additions. Mercenaries made its debut as a mini-game in the original Resident Evil 3. Ever since the mode wasn't included in the remake of Resident Evil 3, fans have been clamoring for it to return in some form or another. In a recent Resident Evil Village showcase, the aforementioned Morimasa Sato revealed the return of the beloved mini-game. You should check out the video when you get a chance, because it seems the new and improved Mercenaries mode is going to offer a lot of depth through its newest additions of the game mode. With new things like abilities and the opportunity to use the market in between stages, it really seems like the fast-paced, awesome side mode of Mercenaries is going to be just as cool, if not more cool than the original. And of course, from what we've seen of Resident Evil Village, the aesthetic of that game seems so awesome, so I can't wait to play Mercenaries just in that whole creepy world.